Okay, did you know that 90% of Americans, 90% say money affects their stress level and they're anxious about their financial situation? And another huge majority, 88% of Americans believe they have room for improvement when it comes to their financial wellness. So with that in mind, and January being Financial Wellness Month, let's bring in Tammy Trenta. She's the founder and CEO of Family Financial to talk about ways that we can improve our financial health. Good morning, Tammy. I know that when people think of New Year's resolutions, at the top of the list, in addition to diet and exercise, is finances. So where do we start?
That's a great question. I like to equate financial wellness in the beginning of the year, much like an annual wellness visit at the doctor. And the first thing that you want to do is get organized, gather all of your statements, homeowners, property tax, investments, bank accounts, Social Security. You want to get your estate planning in order, and just look at those things because laws change, the economy has changed, premiums have changed, we've had inflation. So kind of gathering the information is a really important first step. So we do our annual wellness checkups once a year in the beginning of the year because most investors want to know how they did. And so then that leads us to the next step, which would be knowing your rate of return. Now, this might not be a great year to look at how you did, but you can't really put your head in the sand. It wasn't a great year in the stock market, and you need to make sure that you're still on track for meeting your goals. So you want to look at how your performance was. What was your rate of return this year? Surprising how many people don't know that. Whether there were any losses harvested in your account for your income taxes or any rebalancing that had been done throughout the year. If you don't have an investment account yet or an advisor, the beginning of the year is a great time to get started.
Yeah, no question, Tammy. In fact, a financial planner is recommended. I have one, and the way I tell people is like, hey, that's their whole job is to know rates of return, know what the market's going to do, look at predictors, things that I don't have time to spend on. They focus on it, and so when I talk about having a financial planner, it's huge. I would think that when you start getting organized, one of the ways that you begin is with a budget, right?
Absolutely, especially in a year where we've had, unprecedented inflation since the 70s. So a lot of those things or subscriptions that you've had might have snuck up throughout the year. And so it's a great time to review your budget, review your savings goal. You might even find some new money for a new goal that you might have this year by just taking a look at what you need and what you don't need.
Exactly. And budget, saving goals. What about knowing the numbers? That's on the list too. Tell me about that.
Well, one thing that you need to do is know what you need in order to become financially independent. And that means knowing your numbers. So updating a financial plan is a great way to start off the year, especially in a year where, like I said, we've had a down market. The down markets happen maybe once every 4 or 5 years. So you want to make sure you're still on track. If you're not on track, then right now is the best time to change what you're doing because wealth accumulation tends to accelerate or decelerate pretty quickly the longer that time goes on. So, I think there's a statistic every 5 years that you delay your savings, you actually have to double the savings to meet the same savings target.
One of the things that I'm concerned about, just looking at things, is I'm concerned about inflation and inflation being at such a high rate. It was, the highest in 40 years last year. There's nothing that suggests that it's going down considerably anytime soon. How do you combat against that as a financial planner? What do you tell your clients?
Well, when we go through the financial plans, we account for inflation. So that's something that you want to make sure when you do your projections that you have an increased spending level every year. So if you're spending $80,000 a year, you need to be able to spend more to just have the same expenses. So that's how we handle inflation. But I also think that planning is not really a set it and forget it kind of thing. Not only are there changes in the economy like inflation, the stock market performance, the real estate market, interest rates, but you also have things in your personal life that change. Maybe you're getting married, maybe you're having a child. And one thing we know is that everybody's life changes all the time. And so it's really important to have a list of things that you do to follow up and things that you'd like to accomplish throughout the year.
Tammy, this has been a great list. Is there anything else we haven't touched on you feel is important? Because, this is January is one of those months where everyone's trying to get their financial goals in shape and set for the rest of the year.
Yes, the last thing that I'll say is you need to look at it every year. So it's not a one-time financial plan that sits on your coffee table collecting dust. There are a lot of financial advisors out there. You want to work with a certified financial planner and someone who practices as a certified financial planner. So looking at the plan every year is really, really important, and I can't emphasize that enough.
Okay, Tammy Trenta, founder and CEO of Family Financial. We appreciate all those financial tips. They are so helpful to so many people out there. Thanks very much.